wholesome ASMR. My name is Matt, and happy Halloween to those who celebrate. It's actually perfect because Halloween falls right on my upload schedule. So, happy Halloween to any of you celebrating. I know it's very much an Americanized holiday. I think Germany's into it too, but I know a lot of Europe is not really into it that much, which is a shame because I love Halloween. I'd have it ranked third on my holidays. I'd go Christmas, then Thanksgiving, and then Halloween just behind it, just because it's so unique. You know, everyone, yeah, as a kid, you kind of look forward to it throughout the whole year, because you get to dress up as someone or something unique and something that you would like never have been able to do on like a day-to-day basis, and so I think that's super special. And then usually it kind of hits like that weird phase from like middle school, maybe a little before that, to, like through high school, where you're like, oh, dressing up's weird. Like all the weird kids did that, which I dressed up all through high school, so I guess I was a weird kid. But then once you get to college, everyone dresses up again, and then post-college, like once you start getting into creating a family and stuff like that, then like all the adults dress up again. I think that's really, really cool. So this is what I was up for Halloween last year. It's a Piglet onesie. I wore it out for the college Halloween parties. I was Piglet. And then my roommates were Pooh, Eeyore, Digger, and Winnie the Pooh, or not Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin. So that was really fun. We did like a group-themed Halloween. I am missing college Halloween because it's just like a fun time. Everyone's in costumes and it's very social. So this year will be a little quieter, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. I did have more prepared for this video, but unfortunately, I kind of forgot that I had a trip and sort of ran out of time. I think I was initially going to carve like a pumpkin or something. I just don't have time for that. This is Monday night, and I just got back from a mini weekend trip to Yosemite National Park in California. I went and visited a friend from college out there, and it was honestly such a great experience. I love Yosemite, and I got to see more of the park. And we did a lot of good hikes, and met really cool people from Korea and Europe, and just discussed about their experiences, you know, just like living, but also traveling to different parts of the world. So it was really insightful, and I encourage any of you, if you have the chance to go to Yosemite, do it. And if you have the chance to go and hike Half Dome, do it. There's a campsite, so you don't have to do it all in one day, because it is kind of a long hike. It's like, it's almost like 18 plus miles there and back, with like almost 5,000 feet of elevation gain, so it's definitely intense, but totally worth it. So that brings me back to here, where I am almost out of time. So what did I prepare? Well, I have obviously the Halloween costume on. We got the candles in the background. I brought some candy. It's pretty much just Sour Patch, so I'll munch on that for a little bit. And then I brought some Halloween stories from home that I really like. I brought 3 of them. Kind of iconic, maybe not to the mass population, but to my family. So I thought I'd read through those, and then, yeah, I mean, that's about it. This is probably not going to be too long of a video, but I figured I had to do something in the spirit of Halloween, because it is such a great holiday. And what's crazy is, tomorrow Christmas music starts. November 1st in the United States. Christmas music comes out. Now this is kind of a hot topic, because there's 2 types of people. There's people who listen to Christmas music right away, and it's never too early. And then there's people like me, who will not listen to Christmas music until a certain point. And that point might vary for for us different people, but for me, I will allow Christmas music the day after Thanksgiving. So, honestly, maybe even Thanksgiving afternoon. Otherwise, it just feels like winter comes too early, and I really enjoy the fall. Because otherwise, you're just treating the fall as sort of mid-September through the end of October. But then you're missing out in November. November's very sweet. It's peak football season. Thanksgiving, at least in the United States, is great. The family gets together, we eat, and we watch the Lions play football, which is much better now than than it used to be. But then, yeah, the day after Thanksgiving, or I guess that night, Thursday night, because, the big brand stores have kind of pushed it up, is Black Friday, and that's when everyone starts their Christmas shopping. So I'm like, okay, it's time for Christmas music. Before then, I don't know. I don't like it. I digress, even though my sisters will disagree. So, let's keep it in the Halloween spirit. I got the Sour Patch to my left on the desk, and I will get the first book and then just munch on some periodically. I don't want to eat too much because candy does make me feel bad, but it's so good. Okay. The first story is Five Little Pumpkins. Here we go. Five Little Pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. This was gifted to me from my grandparents in 2003. I was 2 years old at the time. Okay. Iconic, iconic, iconic. Five little pumpkins, 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 sitting on a grate. We'll do the visuals in this one. Pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." Witches, witches, witches. The third one said, "But we don't care." But we don't care, but we don't care. The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." The fifth one said, "I'm ready for some fun." Ooh, with the wind and out, out, with the light. And the five little pumpkins rolled out of sight. That's it. Now, whenever my mom would read this when I was a kid, when the out with the light part, she would slam the book shut and make you jump. Like, ooh, with the wind and out with the light. But obviously that would be detrimental to the ASMR experience, so we're not going to do that. But yeah. That's Five Little Pumpkins. It's a short story. But it means a lot to me. It was iconic as a kid. Especially that part with the slamming the book shut. Alright. Next one we got. It's titled The Littlest Pumpkin. This will be a little longer. Littlest Pumpkin. This was gifted to my sister from my grandparents in 2005. Also when she was 2. The Littlest Pumpkin. It was Halloween, and there were 18 pumpkins left at Bartlett's farm stand. Look at the pumpkins. because they all wanted to be taken home and made into jolly jack-o'-lanterns. The littlest pumpkin had the biggest dreams of all. She saw herself shining in the dark with the ghosts and monsters and witches and fairies gathered around her singing a Halloween song. And today was the day when all her dreams were going to come true. The littlest pumpkin. That's her dream. Maggie dropped by the stand on her way to school, just as it was opening. "I want the biggest pumpkin you have for my class party," she said, looking at the pumpkins on display. She didn't even glance at the littlest pumpkin. So sad. The pumpkin Maggie chose was so big, Mr. Bartlett had to help her put it in her mother's car. Then the twins arrived. Jess wanted the roundest, fattest pumpkin. Jen wanted the tallest, skinniest pumpkin. They both knew exactly what they wanted their jack-o'-lanterns to look like. Later that morning, Miss Carlin's class came to the farm stand to buy apples and pumpkins for their Halloween party. The littlest pumpkin was very excited when she saw all the children. Now certainly, I will be chosen by someone and made into a jack-o'-lantern, she thought. But no one chose the littlest pumpkin. That's so sad. All day long, people came to the farm stand to buy pumpkins. Mr. Potter ran in to choose a pumpkin for his daughter, Kate. Poor Kate was home with the flu, but she had drawn pictures for her dad so he could see exactly what kind of pumpkin she wanted. Mr. Potter looked at every single pumpkin until he found the right one. The sun began to set, and only 4 pumpkins were left. One pumpkin had a bruise on its back. One pumpkin was lumpy and bumpy. One pumpkin didn't have a stem. And the last pumpkin was the littlest pumpkin. That's sad. The littlest pumpkin still had big dreams. She would be a beautiful jack-o'-lantern at a Halloween party. She would shine in the dark with ghosts, monsters, witches, and fairies gathered around her singing a Halloween song. But while the littlest pumpkin was dreaming, Gabe and Mona arrived. They ran up to the 4 remaining pumpkins. Gabe grabbed the stemless one. "Perfect," he said, "my jack-o'-lantern's going to wear a hat." Mona picked up the littlest pumpkin. "Oh, how cute," she said. The littlest pumpkin was so happy all her dreams were going to come true. "But it's too small for me to carve into a jack-o'-lantern," said Mona, putting it down. Then she picked up the lumpy, bumpy one instead. "Now this one is perfect." Soon it was dark and the stars began to sparkle in the sky. Mr. Bartlett was cleaning up. "Oh, please don't close yet," thought the littlest pumpkin. "I must be a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween." Suddenly, Mr. Bartlett heard someone calling his name. "Mr. Bartlett, Mr. Bartlett." It was Sam. "Please wait," said Sam. "I need a pumpkin for my party tonight." turned it around, it would make a very nice jack-o'-lantern. Sam agreed, and with that, Mr. Bartlett closed the farm stand. So there, in the dark on Halloween night, sat the littlest pumpkin. She was all alone, or so she thought. For just when the littlest pumpkin was sure she was going to be spending Halloween night all alone in her empty farm stand, mice started scurrying around her. They were decorating everything, wearing tiny costumes and carrying all sorts of Halloween goodies. And before the littlest pumpkin knew what was happening, she found herself in the middle of a Halloween party. Mice dressed in costumes were bobbing for cranberries, playing pin the tail on the squirrel, and eating cheese and crumbs. Then the best thing of all happened. The littlest pumpkin turned into a jack-o'-lantern. She was shining in the dark with ghosts, monsters, witches, and fairies gathered around her, singing a Halloween song. All her dreams had come true on Halloween night. How nice. What a happy ending. So that's the littlest pumpkin. The final one in this book is kind of beat up, but it's because we've read it a lot. 10 Timid Ghosts. I like this book. This was given to me by my grandparents in 2005. So I was 4. Okay. 10 Timid Ghosts. 10 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a skeleton and let out a whine. He flew to the woods, and then there were 9. 9 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a bat and didn't wait. She flew to the woods, and then there were 8. 8 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a ghoul. He screamed, "Oh my heaven." He flew to the woods, and then there were 7. 7 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a cat. What a terrible fix. She flew to the woods, and then there were 6. 6 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw an owl and took a dive. He flew to the woods, and then there were 5. 5 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a vampire and dashed to the door. She flew to the woods, and then there were 4. Apologies for the talking upstairs. 4 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a monster and was scared as could be. He flew to the woods, and then there were 3. ghost in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a spider, and what did she do? She flew to the woods, and then there were two. Two timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. One saw a rat and started to run. He went to the woods, and then there was one. Wrong. One ghost left. One clever ghost in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted her out. She saw the witch coming undone. She flew to the woods, and then there were none. In the deep dark wood. That witch is too tricky and just no good. This isn't fair. We live in there. Let's band together and give her a scare. One mean old witch in a haunted house. 10 brave ghosts wanted her out. Saw the ghost and howled with fear. She tore out the door, screaming, "Get me out of here." There they are having a party. I like that book a lot. But yeah, that's the last of the 3 books. Hopefully you enjoyed those. I really like those stories. If you are dressing up for Halloween, please comment below what you're gonna be, because I think it's always interesting to see what people are dressing up as. Last year, the most common costume I saw was Naruto for kids, so that's pretty cool. It's really interesting to see the shift. I was a Power Ranger one year, but yeah, let me know what you're gonna be for Halloween, and hopefully you have a fantastic night. Eat a lot of candy, but not too much. You don't want to get those stomach aches. So, good night, good night, good night.